fine. I'm an acquired taste.
The Penguin might be the greatest spin-off TV show from a movie of all time. This is an origin story along the lines of Better Call Saul, where they don't excuse who Saul Goodman became, but they explain why he became who he was. And that is what the Penguin did for the Penguin's character from the Batman movie, and hopefully gives people an idea of who the Penguin will become going forward in the Batman movies. Now, speaking of Batman, one of the things I loved about this show is that there were no mention of Batman. Batman was not mentioned until the very end of this TV show, and he wasn't even mentioned. They just showed the bat signal. That could have been for anything, for anybody. It just a gentle reminder like, hey, you know this is a DC Comics television show, right? Because while I was watching, this felt more like The Sopranos. It felt like a gangster TV show, a mob TV show, an HBO TV show, which it was, but it didn't feel like a comic book TV show. If you were to replace some of the names, just a few names, if you replace, say, the name Arkham, or replace the Penguin, or replace Gotham and change those, change Gotham City to New York City, change the Penguin's name or moniker to, I don't know, the Councilman. Change Arkham, or you could leave Arkham as it is. But if you change just those few names and you presented this show to someone who wasn't a comic book fan, I don't believe that they would know that they were watching a movie based on a comic book. That's how well done this show was. Very well paced, great writing, great directing, great vision. For me, it felt like The Sopranos mixed with Uncut Gems in terms of it appears Oswald is always behind and trying to get ahead, but he is ahead. He's always two steps ahead. He's always working, scheming, and moving his way up the ladder no matter what it takes. It's a dark, gritty world where people are just trying to survive. You watch this show and you remember what happened, the events that happened in the Batman, and you don't realize how big things can affect minor characters and people that are forgotten. The things that the Riddler didn't affect Batman. It didn't affect the police department. It didn't affect the wealthy. It affected the poor people. They were the real victims of the Riddler's crimes. They are the real victims of the corruption of Gotham City, of the politicians, of the street people, the criminals, the gangsters, even the police department. They are the real victims. And speaking of, Colin Farrell, he looked fantastic as the Penguin. Like, knowing that he is under all that makeup, I would still look at him and try to see if I could see him in there. And it was very hard. You can see little bits of him because you're looking for that, but it's hard to see him in there. The way he played it, it wasn't cartoonish. Even with his limp, with his bad leg, it didn't feel cheesy. His facial and body tics, the way he looked and moved, he kind of looked like a penguin in subtle ways, even down to the bushy eyebrows and the somewhat pointy nose based on the scars on his face. And speaking of penguins, did you know that they can swim over 10 miles per hour? And that they use their suits as camouflage? And they can drink salt water? I did not know that. You made it this far. If you have not liked the video at this point, what are you waiting for? Just like the video. Hit the like button right now. I'm talking to you. Make sure you like the video and subscribe and drop a comment. All that stuff. This is a threat. Not a threat, a warning. But it could be a threat. Just do it. The cast was fantastic. Like, everybody brought their A game. One of the people that stood out was the actress that played Sophia Falcone. I'm not going to pronounce her name because I butchered it trying to say it. I know her from Black Mirror, but she really put on a masterclass as far as balancing her character. She almost played three different characters in this TV show. She played the regular, you know, Falcone's mob boss daughter that was trying to do the right thing and learn the business. She played the tortured victim that was in Arkham, and then she played the more evil, self-righteous Gigante slash Hangman character once she was out and really leaned into that character. Everybody brought it. Did you know that penguins are social butterflies and super friendly with people? That's something that I noticed with the penguin. He seemed to make it to where everybody liked him. Everybody wanted to be around him, even though they knew that he was full of shit. Everybody, every time he would come to people to try to make a deal or to come up with a scam or to scheme or seem like he was trying to get over, everybody would say, "You can't trust Oswald. He's a scammer. He's going to scheme you. He's going to double cross you." But they all did. Sophia, the Maronis, Victor, everybody that trusted him ended up getting screwed over. But he has a way of making you believe like, okay, I know he could do it. I know he's got a history of doing it, but I'll believe him this time. I'll believe him this one time, and it never worked out. Some penguins mate for life. Now when it comes to being with someone forever, that is kind of the relationship that Oswald had with his mother. A crazy, toxic, awful relationship that they had and that they will now have for the rest of her life, for the most part. It was sad to watch. And the more you learn about the relationship and their past, the more you kind of felt bad for Oswald and his mother. But you also knew that they're both bad people and they will get what is coming to them. And another relationship that I really, really enjoyed, and I think a lot of people will agree with me on this, the relationship between Victor and Oswald. It started off as, "I'm going to blackmail you into working for me," to almost a father-son relationship. And Victor was kind of halfway in. He didn't really want to be all the way into to what Oswald was doing and what he had going on. But he kept coming back because he didn't have anything to fall back on. He didn't have a family. He didn't have a father figure anymore. And Oswald was that for him. And the deeper Victor got into the crime world, into the underworld, the closer their relationship got. And it was somewhat beautiful to see that Oz and Victor could kind of grow together. They had their ups and downs, but they always had each other's backs. They always were looking out for each other for the greater good until the very end. Until the very end. Wow. Just what a way to end a relationship, a partnership, a relationship. What a way to end it. Did you know that penguins go through a catastrophic mold once a year? That means penguins lose all of their feathers during the 2 to 3 week process and can't swim or fish until the important installations grow back. Speaking of fishing, did you know that Clancy Brown, the person that plays Salvatore Maroni, is the voice of Mr. Crab on SpongeBob? About 3 episodes in, I wondered, I've heard that voice before. He sounds familiar. Let me go IMDb what he's been in. And he's Mr. Crab from SpongeBob, which is interesting to me. It is interesting to see how three characters from three different circumstances all kind of ended up doing the wrong thing. All chose to be corrupted. You look at Oswald, born with a disability, born to a single mother that would enable his bad behavior. No money. And he ended up at the top of the world. You look at Victor, born into a good family with no money, was taught how to do things the right way, taught how to be respectful, taught how to work hard, how to be trustworthy. And he still ended up going down the wrong path, and that led to his destruction. You look at Sophia, born into money and wealth, but didn't have the love that a person would need to choose to be a good person. And she ended up losing everything. Just watching those three characters and their journey and how they got to where they were was fascinating to me. Now, like I said, I'm probably the last person to have seen The Penguin, and there's been a bunch of commentary on this show, and I'm just adding my 2 cents into it. Just one of the best TV shows, period. Like, not best comic book shows, not best spin-off TV shows, just an all-time great TV show. Like, this is a show, like, if I showed it to my grandpa, who's not in the comic books whatsoever, he would enjoy this show. I don't know if they're going to do a season 2 to the Penguin. I'm very excited to see where they take this character in the sequel to the Batman, and I hope they really flesh him out even more.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.
You made it this far. If you have not liked the video at this point, what are you waiting for? Just like the video. Hit the like button right now. I'm talking to you. Make sure you like the video and subscribe and drop a comment. All that stuff. This is a threat. Not a threat, a warning. But it could be a threat. Just do it.